Well, Youth with a Mission was started as like a missionary training organization, mostly for younger people, because back in the day they didn't really like accept or allow young people as missionaries. I wanted to go into missions really basically just to share my testimony. I was kind of a newer Christian, or as like a teenager, and so I was a bit scared of, I don't know, I'd never shared the gospel. I started like a missionary school, and it didn't end like super well. I didn't have the best experience there, just with things I was going through. And so, yeah, one night I was kind of complaining to God about, just missions and things like that, and things that I thought were unfair. And then, I ended up saying, I was like, oh, I'd never go back to doing missions. Like, I'd never do that kind of thing in my life. And then immediately I heard like the Holy Spirit say, like, what if I was the one that called you to it? And immediately I responded like, yeah, I would, Lord. If you were the one to call me to do it, then I would say yes. Anyway, so I went to sleep that night, and then I woke up to a message from a friend saying, like, I know you didn't have the best experience, but like, would you want to join us again with the same school but in Sydney? And so that's how I got connected with YWAM in Sydney, and then ended up going to Fiji and then to Melbourne as well. And most of the work was either like house visits with people, especially in Fiji, and then we did lots of like food pantry things. We did some ministry with some like Muslim families where we just built relationships with them. The YWAM group that I went with was it was me and then about 4 other women, and it was a really good experience. I found it very easy to get to know them, and obviously we spent every single day together, and even in doing ministry it kind of bonds you in like a different way. I think for me, one of the kind of most rewarding parts of being in missions is obviously seeing people come to know Jesus and even hear the gospel for the first time with some people, but also even with people who have known Jesus or grew up as Christians but aren't really living as Christians now, just seeing their faith grow when we're able to share like our testimonies or what we've seen happen in our lives, because it seems like such a small thing to me of like sharing something that happened to me, but when you see like their faith grow and then they want to go on and share it with someone else, that really affects me. And one experience that I had while I was serving that stuck with me, it actually just happened on the street. I was taking the bus to my job and I had to go to the train station. And there was this lady sitting there with a sign that said she was homeless and she was pregnant as well. And so I read that sign, and I decided to buy her some things and then talk to her the next day. And then I went back the next day to the bus station, and she wasn't there. But I had this like weird sense of kind of relief that I didn't actually have to have the interaction, which I didn't like. I didn't like that reaction like within myself. And then it happened again the next day, and then on the third day, before I even went to work, I just sat down and prayed and just asked God for this to be the day that I could talk to her and have that interaction, and just for an opportunity to be able to pray for her and with her. And so I went to the bus stop that day, and lo and behold, she was there, of course. And I ended up walking up to her just as she was about to leave, and I got to give the things to her, and then I asked her if there was anything else I could do for her, and she just kind of like offhandedly said, just be praying for me. And then I just took that as an opportunity to say, I can pray for you right now. And so I just sat with her on the street and was praying for her. But that interaction really affected me, just even in kind of learning that willingness is what matters, and that I was still scared on the third day of having that interaction, but I was willing to do whatever God had set up to happen that day. I feel like I just want people to know about being a missionary or in missions in different countries, just the importance of the basics of like our duty as Christians of displaying Christ's character, and just the things that don't seem as flashy or maybe as interesting, that they're actually the cornerstone of like what is important, like just being under leadership when they're kind of telling you things to do and you don't really understand like why or what importance that has, when really it does, like when it's just the little things or the little chores that you have to do or the little jobs where you're just like, okay, why aren't I just preaching the gospel right now? Why do I have to, clean my room or like, clean this toilet or whatever it is? That those little things, matter in building your character and building, you as a person, as a Christian. I think just what I'd say to anyone who, wanted to join missions or do YWAM, it's only 6 months of your life, even if you just do, just one school of just seeing if it's, something that you would want to do with your life or just have that short experience to learn and to grow, and to make those connections and those relationships. I feel like it can never be wasted.